Pet store owner tells veterinarian to put down defective puppy, but the vet refuses.
But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe to HappyWorld, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories.
Our story starts when Dimitra Molossi, who's the co-director of Social T's Animal Rescue, heard an interesting conversation while sitting in the vet's lobby. A man walked in with a white chihuahua in his hands and told the doctor he needs to put her to sleep. Hearing this, Dimitra was terrified and knew that she needed to do something about it. He told the vet the dog was defective and wanted her to be put to sleep. She said of the man who brought his little chihuahua in. As if things couldn't get even worse, Dimitra found out he wasn't the first time he visited that vet's office. Despite the fact that it seemed like this man didn't care for animals, Dimitra found out he owned a pet store. To make things even more terrifying, the vet receptionist said this next thing to Dimitra. The reception said he was the owner of a pet store nearby and nobody was buying her. Apparently he's dumped animals before, said Dimitra. Hearing this, her heart was broken because she realized that this man kept putting dogs to sleep if they didn't sell well. Something had to be done. Considering Dimitra is the co-director of Social T's Animal Rescue, she couldn't resist wanting to help the poor chihuahua. Let's see what was wrong with the poor puppy. The only thing out of the ordinary about this little chihuahua pup was the fact its legs were a little bent. This made walking difficult, but it wasn't something that serious. You won't believe what made Dimitra call her partners at the Social T's Animal Rescue. Even though the puppy seemed to be sad, she would start wagging her tail every time Dimitra talked to her. Dimitra's heart melted when this happened and she knew she needed to call her friends. Dimitra's partners agreed to take the cute chihuahua as soon as they saw her. They knew that she needed all the help she could get because otherwise her future wouldn't look good. Let's see how the folks over at Social T's Animal Rescue Center named her. Dimitra and her partners took the white chihuahua to the rescue center. Not only that, but they also named her Clover. While Clover was finally happy to be rescued and avoid a grim death, Dimitra still needed to get her legs checked out. Knowing that Clover's little legs are a bit bent, Dimitra decided to take her to the vet and see if there's something wrong with her. You won't believe what the vet had to say. The vet closely checked up Clover and found that she was in perfect health. Her bent legs weren't a serious problem and Clover would learn to walk with them as she gets older. Let's move to the next slide and learn what Dimitra had to say next. She's not in any pain now and is already starting to walk better, said Dimitra. Seeing that Clover wasn't hurting, it was amazing. However, Dimitra's job didn't end there because she also needed to find an adoptive family. In order for Dimitra to make sure Clover was safe and happy, she needed to find an adoptive family for her. What Clover really needed was love and affection because her life in the pet store wasn't a happy one. Another thing Clover really needed was to make some new friends, maybe another chihuahua. You can imagine that being locked in the cage at the pet store was lonely and she needed to socialize with other dogs. Dimitra took pictures of Clover and posted them on the internet in hopes of finding a new family for her. Luckily, Clover's sad story and cuteness helped her find a new family in no time. Clover found the family really fast. This was amazing to see, especially since the odds were stacked against her when she entered the vet's office. You won't believe how well Clover gets along with her new family. Despite coming from a pet store where people kept her in a cage, Clover loved being around people. She and her new family got along perfectly, especially since Clover loved getting belly rubs. Scroll down to see what the adoptive family had to say about Clover's bent legs. She has no idea she's any different. She runs around and plays all day, her tail won't stop wagging, is what the family said. It's amazing to see how well Clover got accustomed to her new family and she isn't being held back by her leg problems. Truth be told, Clover was lucky to be spotted by Dimitra, but not all dogs share the same fate. Puppy mills are always filled with chihuahuas because they're small and expensive, but sadly not all of them find new homes. Puppy mills are the worst thing ever and sadly chihuahuas are the race which suffers most. Their small size makes them ideal for puppy mills because they're easy to be held in cages and their cuteness makes them sell faster. On the bright side of things, at least there are hundreds of animal rights organizations which are working towards closing all puppy mills. Let's hope that people start adopting animals instead of buying them.